All right, so today the goal, we're gonna hit as many ponds as we can and try to catch at least 2 species in each pond that we hit. I got a big nose. So we got the bluegill, but still need to get the bass for this pond, or maybe a crappie. Another bluegill, I think. Quick release. I'm gonna try taking the bobber off and see if we can get a bass that way. So I like the depth we're fishing, because if you're getting into bluegills, there's probably a few bass around too, but I'm gonna try putting on something bigger, see if that maybe makes a difference for a bass. There's a fish. Bluegill. Got a weird pattern right there. I wonder what that is. Fish. It's another bluegill. Bluegill are chowing, but you get a bass. Since they don't seem to be chasing a lot, we're gonna put that bobber back on. Having that bobber just lets your fly sit out there suspended. Allows for a lot slower retrieve. Something ate that. Might have just been a bluegill. There's a fish. Another bluegill on the little guy. Come on, Bassy. Not much happening. Oh. Tangled. One of the beauties of fly fishing. Especially if you're using 2 flies and a bobber, you're gonna get tangled. But if you catch them early, they're usually not bad. Pretty manageable. Oh, had a fish on there. It's like the depth might be changing a little bit here, getting a little deeper, which is good. That's what I need. Fish. another gilly. We need a bass if we're gonna move on to the next pond. Finally got one. Dang, big bass just followed this in too. Finally got one. So we are now at 2 species. It's time to move to a different pond. It's kind of crazy. Another one followed him right in. If I wasn't doing the 2 species challenge, we'd probably go a little bit longer. All right, let's go to pond number 2. Counts. Not exactly a giant, but we got a bass. Alright, now we need a bluegill. That's the target. Good one too. Fatty. My goodness. That's a dandy. Look at that. That's a nice bluegill. Well, that's 2 ponds down. First pond took me over an hour. This pond took about 5 minutes. All right, here we go. All right, number 3 and number 4 next door. Should be able to see fish chase here. If they're here. There's a fish. Little bassiated on the paws. Alright. Bass on the board at pond number 3. Got a bluegill. There's actually green sunfish here too we could get. There's another fish. I think this might be species number 2. Nice yellow looking fish. It is a green sunfish. That's a hybrid. I'm thinking that's a hybrid. So, green sunfish genetics. Big old mouth. The red tip on the operculum. Green sunfish. Here's green sunfish as well. But look at this looks pretty bluegilly to me. Yellow tip fins, green sunfish. So, all right, well that's species number 2. Less than 10 casts. We got 2 species. On to pond number 4. It's a good spot. You can see the rocky structure and a drop off. Got a follower and got him. Alright. Bluegill, species number 1 in this pond. Unfortunately, a bluegill, which means that we're still at 1 species for the pond. Need something a little different here. Kind of extend that cast a little bit. Take a cast over here. Pretty shallow, but we're gonna try it. Oh, missed him. He's on it, but he just wouldn't eat it. Followed it for quite a while. There we go. Bluegill though. Well, let's keep moving here, see if we can't get into a bass. We need a bass. Alright, so we caught this guy, which, here's the deal. This is definitely a hybrid, because you can see bluegill look. That mouth though, that mouth is 100% a green sunfish mouth. And you can see the red in the operculum as well. I feel a little guilty calling this species number 2. So we're gonna try to still get a bass here. Because if we get a bass, then we can say that we officially have 2 distinct species, not a hybrid. So because we caught this tangle after just 1 cast, it should be pretty simple to get out. Boom, done. So always be paying attention to your flies when you're fishing with multiple flies. Don't let them get super tangled. Catch it early, it's usually pretty manageable. We're gonna head back to where we started and try to get a bass. Technically we have 2 separate creatures with a bluegill and a hybrid, but I'm gonna head back to kind of where we started. Getting a little shallow back in this cove. Fish a little deeper rig and try to get a couple bass in some deeper water. It is crazy though that a lot of these fish, I just spooked a bass off the bank, a lot of these fish are already thinking about spawning. Mostly the bluegill, but the bass are moving in shallow too. The bluegill are definitely schooled up, getting ready to do their thing. Bass not so much, I think they're just in shallow hunting. All right, team, we did it. Definitely not a monster, but we got that bass. All right, it is time to move on to pond number 5. Remember to pick up at least 1 piece of trash, and see a plastic bag like this. Boom, now you have lots of incentive to get trash until you fill your bag. Even though a lot of this garbage isn't necessarily from fishermen, fishermen are gonna get blamed for it, so let's pick it up. That's a new piece of litter, a whole rug. of the day. Crappie. So, black crappie, pretty much have black dots scattered throughout. No sort of vertical bars or anything. So this is a black crappie. Bye, buddy. That shad. It's a pretty sizable shad. Down. This is not my favorite pond. One time I had to call the cops because a lady got assaulted in these apartments right here, and I watched it happen. Not a ton of great memories here. Shallow, gonna need a bobber here. There's something to be said for polarized sunglasses, just from the standpoint of being able to see depth. I can tell that I'm casting over some pretty shallow water. If I didn't have the sunglasses, it might be kind of tough to see that. Oh, I think I had one. Fish. Little bassy. So these largemouth, never pond smallmouth. You can see the jaw goes beyond the eye right here. Most ponds in Iowa, unless it's a private pond, they're all largemouth. Alright, get one more. And then on to the next. Uh-oh. That cast looked tangly. We're gonna check. Looks like we're not tangled, so that's good. Alright, let's get a bluegill. Tangled. Bummer. A long cast. But once again, because we caught it right away, I'm hopeful it shouldn't be too bad. If you've got two flies on, you always start with the bottom fly. Looks like he just got wrapped around a little bit. Yeah, it'd be a little worse than I was hoping, but we'll get it here. Something too is, like, as you fly fish more and more, you start to get accustomed to your own tangles, and you know exactly what steps are required to get out your own tangles. I find that when I'm out with clients on the water, sometimes their tangles look a little bit different than mine. So we all have different casting strokes, different casting motions. Whenever you're fishing with multiple flies or a bobber or split shot, you're asking for tangles to happen. It's just the way it goes. Burned my line finger here. Haven't been fishing enough, don't have calluses there. I will say though, early season fly fishing is really the ticket on these ponds. Come back here in a month, You can hardly cast on any of this because it's all overgrown. Not an issue right now. Like I said, I was hoping I didn't have to change up flies, but might have to. The pond I want to fish is right across the way. I'd like to keep these flies on so I don't have to waste time and switch. There's a fish. I think that's a bluegill. I think that's what we want. No, it might actually be a bass. Oh no. This is a crappie. Alright, that's number 2. Boom. Got him on a flasher jig. Perfect. Alright. Caught that crappie. I had lost one of my flies. Bummer. Could have got it lost when I was fighting him, to be honest. Drop a little nymph off the bottom. It's like a little, just peacock with a little green collar. Kind of like a brassy almost. Little, almost caddis looking imitation. Improved clinch is the way to go, so 8-ish twists. Back through the first opening. And I'm getting old because I can't see. And then to improve that, make it an improved clinch, you go back through that little loop right at the top. I will say Iowa wind does not help. Lubricate, cinch tight. Alright, let's see if we can pull out here. Once upon a time I caught quite a few crappie here. It's been quite a few years though since those days. This pond is unique because it has buffalo in it too. Even a few common carp. I don't know what this is. It's a nice fish. It's a sucker. Wicked. Check that out. Look at that. Sucker chowed that nymph. Well, is it worth getting the boot wet? Definitely. That's one species. New one today too. Big old buffalo just past my bobber. We're gonna throw a cast out there just for funsies. Alright, he's right under my bobber. Give me $10 if he eats. Well, I'm not paying you $10 if he doesn't, because I'm pretty sure he didn't. notoriously annoying when it comes to fly fishing. What those are. Two fish just jumped really weird. There's another one. Huh. I wonder if they were suckers. Oh, whatever I just had on was really big. It might have snagged a buffalo or something, but it popped off right away. So when they pop off right away with buffalo, that typically means you had them snagged. So. Oh, or it could have been that good. See the stripes on his head. First I just assumed it was a snapper, but I don't know what that was, a frog? Frog might have just jumped in up there. Tangled here. And we are running out of time. I'd like to get to a couple more ponds yet. I think there's suckers jumping in here, which is strange. I've never seen suckers jump in this pond. I see them jump in the river. Never in this pond though. To be honest, I didn't even know there were suckers in this pond. They think that once upon a time when the river flooded years ago, some of the river species got trapped in some of these ponds up in North Ankeny. So your buffalo, shad, suckers, common carp, even things like drum. What's this? Oh, there's a fish. Fish. Nope, turtle. Well, I guess this will count as a species. There she is. I think that's the one I might have hooked last time too. And this is why we carry pliers. So we don't get bit. Oh, we did pop off. We're almost off here. One of the benefits of fishing barbless hooks is that they're pretty easy to pop out. So that top flies barbless, bottom flies barbless. So my top one popped out. Just got to get the bottom one off his foot. Big massive turtle. My goodness. Look at that thing. Easy enough. Popped right off. Well, not exactly what I was expecting from species number 2. Might see a common carp though. Carp will eat. Ate it. I actually think it might be a buffalo. Looks like a carp. Guess we're gonna have to argue that a reptilian second species is good enough, because I have only caught that one sucker in here and that's it. So as far as fish go, technically only caught one species in this pond. It's a little disappointing. Got one more cast. Alright, one sucker, one turtle. Okay, well, it is 2:35. We're gonna try one more pond, just one more. All right, last park here. Officially a bluegill. Now we have to decide what the last species of the day is going to be. Hopeful it's a bass or something weird. We shall find out. Something nibbling on it. Bluegill numero dos. Need a bass. Something. Could be something different, maybe. Nope. Another bluegill. Bigger. There she is. A big old yellow belly. Yeah, I'm getting some just bluegill so far. No bass so far. on some bites here. I think they're my target species though. And if they are, they're very, very small. Be the end of the day. Well, not a bad day. So we did the 2 species challenge, trying to get 2 species in as many different ponds as possible today. And I'll have to check the start time and end time to see exactly how long we've fished for, how long we were out and about for. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And Sidelines, hope to see you on the water.